Time for the Weird and Wacky segment.
Abominable snowman.
He's not an axe murderer.
One of the TAs turned out to be a bot. First up in Weird and Wacky, the company that will not die.
Man, I'm telling you what.
MoviePass is back. It explores a daily fantasy platform for film buffs. And I read the story and said, who cares?
This doesn't make, I don't, I read the story.
I don't understand.
I don't, but it doesn't make sense. Like, so the idea is that it's like fantasy football, but for actors, but like,
Right.
with fantasy football, like players go and play. There's a measurable thing that they do. They run yards, they complete passes, they score touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like what daily things do actors do that can be measured that would play into a fantasy actors system?
I mean, so it's not daily, but they do sign contracts for things.
But not even weekly. But they talked about this being weekly contests, like short-term weekly. So like I'm gonna be a movie director in this thing, and I'm gonna pick Angelina Jolie for my movie, and then she's gonna sign like what, 2 contracts a year? Okay, it just seems so weird to me.
It does, yeah.
I can't. I mean, and their argument for it was, well, think about the number of movie stars names that people know versus the number of professional sports players people know. Like, okay, that's a great argument. But but no one tracks stats related to a movie star. No one cares about stats related to a movie star. But people meticulously track stats related to sports figures. Right? Yeah. They know how many points they put down the last game. They know number of rebounds and all the stuff. But it befuddles me that this move makes, like every other move this company's made, this makes no sense to me at all.
I mean, if you're an avid player of the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, maybe you know like a lot of that stuff, right? Like what movies, especially the movies that Kevin Bacon.
Does that still apply now? Like Kevin Bacon has been, I mean, he's still in things, but less and less things over years, right? Like, are there still 6 Degrees always? Like,
I mean, I think so. I think
okay, all right. For example,
he didn't pass away yet, right?
No. But like for example, like newer actors like Zendaya. Like, can you connect Zendaya to Kevin Bacon in 6 Degrees? Like, is that?
I'm sure you can.
Okay, I mean, I can't for sure. I know for sure I can't do that. But okay, I'm sure one of our listeners will probably do it for us, and that'd be great. But yeah.
There's actually a website that does this for you.
Okay.
And I'm going to pull it up while you go on to the next one. And then so you want to know Zendaya.
I want to know Zendaya to Kevin Bacon. That's what I want to know. And and I'll announce this next one that I don't understand because I'm not an Android user. So this is going to make no sense to me personally, but whatever. So Google is finally building its own DEX or DEX. I don't know how you pronounce it. First look at Android's desktop mode. So this is a desktop mode on an Android phone. So you like pull up like make it look like a miniature desktop and like use a mouse and keyboard with your phone.
Mouse and keyboard. Yeah. So Samsung actually had this out for just Samsung devices before.
Yeah. Right.
But now Google is doing a version that is going to get rolled into Android. So you could basically have a full-fledged desktop. And really this makes probably much more sense with a tablet than a phone.
I would think so. Yes.
But you can connect it to a external monitor as well using DeX. So you could actually use your phone for this.
Okay.
And get a full screen monitor display with keyboard and mouse. So if you're thinking like, hey, I'm going to go on a business trip and really I just need my phone, but sometimes I want to have a full screen experience. Like imagine if hotels were to outfit their little work area in your hotel room with a monitor, keyboard, mouse, and you could just dock your phone into that.
Right.
By the way, as I'm saying this, the security side of me is terrified for any of you to ever do this. So please never do this if this ever becomes a thing. Do not plug your phone into hardware that you do not control.
What are you talking about, dude? I like to find like basic devices and cables. I like to find cables like on the street and parking lots and just like, look, it's a free lightning cable. I'm going to use this for my phone. This is going to be great. That's all the time. Like, I mean, at least twice a day. That's what I do.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I come by your house and just sprinkle USB sticks in the lawn randomly all the time to see how many of you in your family will plug them into devices.
You know what you could do? What you would do is you'd hack my passwords. get my Amazon password and then just buy like little things, like small things on a daily basis. And I would never notice because my daughter buys so many little rinky-dink things. I would never know. I would never have it. Like, that's the randomest thing in my orders list. Okay, I guess she ordered that. I don't even know. Whatever's happening, it would be, but then like one day I'd come along and I'd look at my Amazon list and be like, YubiKey. And I'd be like, wait a second, Sanjay's hacked me. What the heck? Like, what? That's how I'll know. So
who's buying 50 YubiKeys in this house?
And then I'll be like, I'm returning those. And I'll be like, free. No, that wouldn't be free. I wouldn't, for sure would not be the case. I'd want those bad boys back.
$2,500 worth of YubiKeys here.
Yeah, that's a lot of YubiKey money. Yeah.
Hopefully somebody else doesn't want this back because they're retrofitting it. The Pope-mobile to become a health clinic for Gaza children. So this was apparently one of the last wishes of Pope Francis, that the Pope-mobile, the big white mobile that's got the big tilting shield to protect him from stuff.
But the sides are open, but there's like this dome over the top.
Right.
I'm like, so he's
like
protected from snipers from two directions, but not any of the other directions. Which
so the original Pope-mobile that started this whole thing, it was a bubble.
Yeah, he didn't like that. He didn't like because he wanted to be close to the people, right? So he didn't like,
that makes
which
sense.
I like that about it. Also, in this article, it mentioned, and I kind of thought this was kind of beautiful, that he talked to parishioners in Gaza like on a daily basis to like check in on them and like
see how they were doing,
how they're like. That's kind of cool, man. Like I was like, dude, I didn't know enough about that guy. He seemed like a good dude.
So they're retrofitting the Pope-mobile to become a health clinic for children.
Yeah.
It is stationed and ready to go, and it's waiting for the allowance by the Israeli government to allow this vehicle and I'm sure other humanitarian aid into Gaza. And when that happens, this vehicle will be used to treat the children there. So it's a very white vehicle, I gotta say. Like,
Well, I mean, the Pope's garb is white, right? He wears all white robes, and but it's like
blindingly white. That vehicle, like everything is white. Like it's sears into my eyeballs how white that is. So
that's so good.
Yeah, there you go. Good. And by the way, so Zendaya to Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, let's do it.
2 degrees.
What? No.
Zendaya was in Zapped with Andrew Herr.
Okay.
Did not see that movie.
Nope.
Who was in Story of a Girl with Kevin Bacon.
Dadgummit, man.
So if you want to play this game yourselves, here's a bonus tech rec for you listeners. oracleofbacon.org is the website you want to go to.
That's the greatest domain name ever.